Gotta give credit to Toronto. They picked up the aggressiveness, the pressure on both ends. We gotta look at that. We gotta understand that no team in this league gonna lay down. Every team in this league is capable of going on a run late in the game, especially when you necessarily don't have nothing to lose. They got great shooters. We got to understand that for one. We got to understand execution, understand what we need to get to, how we need to slow the ball down, take care of the ball, be in our spots, give each other space. So it's so much that we can learn from this. And I'm glad a game like tonight happened now. We got a couple of days. I'm pretty sure we're going to go over a lot of stuff in the fourth quarter, the pros and cons for us to get better.
Chua runs to the rim, trailer OG. His name is me. And by the way, he doesn't shoot to miss.
All right, welcome to October 26th. Another tough loss for the Raps, but honestly, guys, a lot of websites are saying like, oh my gosh, trade away Siakam, trade away everyone. Guys, all this game showed me is that we still have a lot for our Raptors youth to learn from DeMar DeRozan, and then he's a class act. So the Bulls are a really good team this year. So if we've been sleeping on the Bulls, you're crazy. I've watched a lot of Eastern Conference basketball already this year, and I can honestly tell you that this Raptors team can beat any team on any given night, but obviously there's some learning curve here. So our team's looking competitive right out of the gate. The question is, will we be able to go and challenge later in the season? And like I've been saying since before day one of the season, if we hover around 500 for the first 20 games, we can potentially challenge for playoffs and maybe upset some teams, because the types of things that we're learning this year and refining are the types of things that will potentially build a championship caliber team here. But it's a long shot to say that that's this season. Now, how valuable would playoff experience be for this young core? I'd rather make the playoffs this year than not make the playoffs. And the reason is I think that championship pedigree that still exists with 4 players, not 3, Chris Boucher, Fred VanVleet, Pascal, and OG, is important. And to hand that down to new leaders on the team like Scotty and Delano Banton and Precious is going to be imperative. So we want to get right back in the playoffs and start playing with this young team. The Bulls are an awesome team. They have the ability to drive the paint and kick out, and you saw what they can do. Like, players are not going to the line this year, and yet DeMar got 10 free throws last night. So free throws are at an all-time low, and DeMar is just that type of player, and we were lucky not to have to deal with Levine. Anyway, guys, in the bottom corner, we've got kind of a mashup of that comeback last night, so enjoy that in the bottom. I'm going to get right into looking at the Pacers, who are also 1-3. Do not sleep on this team. The only team in the entire East that we should be guaranteeing a win, and Orlando Magic, and even they got better. So if you think Detroit's not improved or Cleveland, you're nuts. The bottom 2 teams, in my opinion, are Cleveland and Orlando. After that, there's no guaranteed wins. Even Detroit is much, much better. The Pacers are 1-3, same as us. They've lost 2 games by 1 point and gone to overtime twice. This team is crazy. And if you think Scotty Barnes is Rookie of the Year, wait till you check out the stats of Chris Duarte, who they got, I think, at number 16 overall. During the coach interviews that are coming up, I'm going to run some of Duarte's highlights from the Miami game, where he just was so locked in. He's been good every game. Let's take a look at their roster, guys. The Pacers are super impressive this year. So we start off with Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon's had a great year to start. Then we go to Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, and I'm going to take your eyes all the way down the list to Goga Bitadze. Those 3 big men are starting to see major minutes, and one of them's probably going to be on the court almost at all times. This is a major, major deal. So plan on the Raptors having to deal with big men. We struggled against Dallas. That's the tallest team in the league. And these guys are able to drive the paint with Brogdon and Duarte. Wait till you see the clips from Duarte. All right, then we've got 2 injured players, 2 injured starters. Karis LeVert and TJ Warren are not able to play. In spite of this, the Pacers are as close as you can be to being 3-1. So overtime losses twice by 1 point, 2 losses. So pretty crazy. This is a tough challenge for the Raptors, especially because the team is not like us. They're not meant to be positionless. This is some big men we're going to be dealing with. So, but we're lucky we don't have to deal with Warren and LeVert. We got Jeremy Lamb, who's been shooting the lights out. TJ McConnell, who's a steals machine and definitely brings in solid minutes. Justin Holiday's been amazing. Again, really good defensive guy. Torrey Craig, journeyman, come over from the Suns last year. Like I said, Batadze, Chris Duarte. I hate to say it. I love Scotty Barnes. You guys know it. But I'm telling you flat out, if Duarte maintains his minutes this year, once they get their starters back, it's going to be very hard to beat this guy for Rookie of the Year. And then they've got Isaiah Jackson, who came over. He was taken by with the Lakers pick at 22. He's out of Kentucky and a really good prospect for them. He came over as part of the Westbrook trade. O'Shea Brissett's put in great minutes. Brad Wanamaker came in as a journeyman kind of to augment the roster. And you're seeing some minutes from Keelan Martin. I haven't seen any minutes from their two-way players. All right, so that covers the roster. I don't want to get too in-depth. I'd rather get straight into taking a look at what we're going to be dealing with. Those are the 3 big men. So Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, and Goga Bitadze. And I'm telling you, these guys are going to be formidable for us. There's going to be one on the court at all times, if not 2. So really, really good lineup. All right, without further ado, guys, let's get into kind of a mashup like I've been doing where we're scouting the other team by I've gone and watched all the games. Let's take a look at what we can learn from the other coaches that have faced them. I'm relying on future Hall of Famer Eric Spoelstra as well as Pacers coach Rick Carlisle himself. And the Pacers have lost 2 games by only 1 point. 1 to the Wizards and 1 to Charlotte. Both incredible games. But for this loss, Carlisle just tipped his hat to the Bucks.
We got some things to do better. We got some things to clean up. This is a very difficult opponent, obviously.
Expect Carlisle to have his team ready to be aggressive in the next game against the Raptors. He wants to play from ahead. So expect them to come out of the gate aggressive.
You got to always try to play from in front against better teams. We were able to do it against Miami, because we were able to get traction defensively, and we were doing some good things on offense. But tonight, just not enough consistency.
Carlisle's a championship coach, so it's not surprising that he's got his finger on the pulse of what happened. The Bucks definitely handled the Pacers, whereas in the other 3 games, the Pacers were very competitive. Future Hall of Fame coach Eric Spoelstra certainly credited the Pacers with their loss.
Just made some plays that were not characteristic of what we normally do. But you probably have to credit, or you do have to credit their defense for a lot of that.
Spoelstra went on to credit the Pacers' win to simply making shots by the Pacers. Duarte and Brogdon have been very good at that so far this season.
And then they made some plays, down the stretch. Got some key buckets.
One thing the Raptors can expect from the Pacers is some serious big man play. Sabonis and Turner are cusp all-stars, whereas you got Goga Bitadze now entering the fray. Expect a big man on the court at all times. This, combined with Duarte and Brogdon, is really, really troublesome.
And we're just looking for length. I think a great deal of it was that we weren't able to get solid defensively without fouling.
And it's this observation by the championship coach that we need to focus upon. It works right in our wheelhouse. The Bucks ran right at him.
A lot of it was, they just ran it back at us a lot, very, very fast early. And, be honest, just creates contact, and he got to the line a lot. And so that got us up against it.
So according to Carlisle himself, the key against them that the Bucks used is running right at them, get them in foul trouble, really get in the paint. It's the opposite of what we dealt with the Bulls. The thing is, we're going to have to bait those big men out and deal with them. So we'll expect to see a lot of high screens, high and pick and rolls, things like that, to bring those big men out so that we can get in the paint. They're not the same type of team that's collapsing like the Bulls yesterday, playing small and just slapping at the ball. Hence Freddie's 7-8 turnovers. And I called that one, by the way, in my preview of the Bulls game. I really want to see us start using our bench and get into really causing the other team to have fouls, like play aggressive. If we can get Turner or Sabonis in foul trouble, it's going to mean good things for our team. Anyhow, guys, enjoy the game against the Pacers. Hopefully the Raptors can get out in transition, get off of their defense and go the other way, get in the paint, cause some fouls to those big men, and then we'll have our way with them. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Enjoy the game. Remember, it's all about the Larrys. Kawhi, can I ask you to at least say hi to me in my own bloody house?
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
That's bullshit, Kawhi. Your laugh is
This
stupid.
is Chef's Kiss approved. Mwah!